We have seen some absolutely ridiculous instances of cancel culture over the years, and this situation is no different because this author has essentially had all of his royalties ripped away from him from jokes he made back in 2022. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community and my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, obviously, freedom of speech is not something that a lot of companies really support anymore. They are more than willing to cancel people in their ranks that they've deemed a little bit too controversial. And when you are a smaller company and a few individuals complain about somebody who's on your staff or somebody that you are partnered with, these companies instantly jump the gun. And that is what has happened here. They shot first, asked questions later, and what they did was hide why they are essentially allowing the cancellation of an author they're working with, because they know they are going to get wrecked for it. So Bitmap Books has a X account with 25,000 followers, definitely a bit smaller. Their goal is to create retro gaming books of the highest quality. And they posted this only yesterday, and boy, is this not going well for them. They said, "Dear supporters of Bitmap Books, last week after the launch of our latest book, The Definitive Book of SNES RPGs Volume 1, we first became aware of some historical comments made online in 2022 by the author Moses Norton. We fully understand that these comments were insensitive, offensive, and are absolutely not views shared by Bitmap Books or any of our stakeholders." I just want to stop right there, because when you hear that they are coming out and completely denouncing these words and saying they're insensitive, they're offensive, they're disgusting, you would think that these are like the worst comments made ever. And now that we know what they are, oh my god, did they overreact. We have spoken to Moses, and he's agreed that Bitmap Books will donate all of his royalties, present and future, to charity. This is so insane that they basically pressured him into giving up all of his royalties for this book because a few people dug up a few really not that offensive jokes. We have selected Special Effect, an organization that helps severely physically disabled people enjoy video games through the innovation of use of technology, and it says that they have selected. Now, to me, that reads that Bitmap Books decided to choose, so Moses didn't even get a say in it, but we don't have that confirmation. Ultimately, it's on our shoulders who we work with, so we take full responsibility for this situation. We research all prospective authors before we begin working together, so this is clearly an area where we need to further improve. And they did not actually post these comments. They did not highlight them because they knew that they were going to get absolutely wrecked, because the only posts that we can seemingly find on social media from 2022 are somebody saying, "Let's be honest, anything is a hoot next to the mediocre gaming experiences of the Super Nintendo," which, by the way, this person is going to come into the conversation in just a minute. The well-dead mage said, "Sure, if you're from a third world country." Ninty, or Nintendo, is still making consoles where Sega, making a monopoly on Brazilian homebrews nobody cares about. We, did you guys get PS2 over there yet? Sitka said, xenophobia, so good. And well-dead mage said, "Hoo boy, here comes the cries of misogyny, fascism, xenophobia." Oh my, there is really nothing to be offended by here. If you are truly bothered by these comments, you are a sensitive snowflake. The people that exist nowadays that are on social media complaining about everything truly did not play the Xbox 360 at its peak, that's for sure. These people would melt down and implode if they were in 360 lobbies. But this Sitka individual actually comes into play because they fully admitted that they reached out to Bitmap and tried to get this person canceled. Sitka here, who was in those screenshots, said, "Oh, I didn't do it for the clout. I did it because we have a long-standing beef." So they decided, I'm going to try to cancel this person because I don't like them. So Bitmap Books listened to what seems to be a single person who just straight up arbitrarily hated somebody. This is not the type of company I want to support. This is not the type of person this company should have listened to. And the fact that they didn't stand by their author means they deserve no funds. I personally am not going to monetarily support them in the future. That's just my opinion. They completely overreacted here, and Bitmap Books is getting raked across the coals for this, and rightfully so. Savvy said, show the words. If you're going to pull this, let the market decide, especially since you're keeping the book up. I can only imagine this degree of virtue signaling is being done because some truly heinous stuff was said, right? But if this is the case, you specify his royalties but seem to be keeping your cut. This would be like profiting off of collecting Hitler's paintings. After all, he was vile, and you're claiming this man is vile, so it must be comparable. But why keep the work at all? It reminds me of every single time we see individuals remake or reboot H.P. Lovecraft's work, they always come out and say he was such a heinous guy, and he was absolutely disgusting, and he made vile comments in the past, but yet you're still profiting off of his work because you know you can't create anything that comes close to that level of high quality, and you can't actually put in effort to create something new that is comparable. You're fine with profiting off of these quote-unquote vile individuals and their comments, but yet you're not willing to try to leave their work in the past if it's so offensive. If you were really disgusted, you wouldn't keep the work up, but you're not, and all of this is hollow. And of course, we now know what the comments are and why they did it, but this is absolutely terrible. What did he say? Regardless, pay the man and stop following me. You are pathetic. And of course, we know now. Some banter in an online exchange does not deserve a special statement, nor should the author lose his royalties. This is embarrassing, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. Absolute crap. Taking a man's livelihood while profiting off of his work is not the move. What a dogshit thing to do. I'll be keeping my future dollars far away from your work. So they caved in to the few individuals maybe who were in agreement with this Sitka person, and well, now they are losing out on thousands of sales, and there is 400,000 views on this post, and all of the comments that I personally have seen are individuals saying, you guys are absolutely terrible and go fuck yourselves. I don't see a single comment here that is in support of their move. It's not like it's 95% people saying we agree with you and that's their audience, because that clearly isn't. You absolute scumbags. Do you have any idea how unfathomably evil it is to publish an author's book without paying them? What is wrong with you? I'm sorry, but this is pathetic from Bitmap. Taking a man's pay away because of past comments is totally wrong. Everybody apart from maybe the Pope in the past has said something that later they may have regretted. And yeah, I absolutely agree with this. I understand if there's, I don't know, 10,000 examples of somebody saying absolutely scummy things in the past, and that would change your opinion on them, and maybe you wouldn't want to work with them. But if you actually do look into the people you're working with, you would know if it's that extreme, and this person is that extreme, and this individual, Moses, clearly isn't that. And I get that this company might have felt scared because they are a smaller company, but if they had come out and said, we do not support cancel culture based on a few comments that people don't agree with, and we are going to continue to support this author, I would have 100% supported them, and all of these people would have been giving them positive attention and would have been giving them money. If they had come out and even said, we've decided that we are going to donate a small amount to a certain charity to try to appease the people who are mad, but we're not taking any royalties away from Moses, and we're not going to stop working with him, even that would have been an okay response. Like, I still think that they probably didn't need to donate anything to charity, but at the same time, donating to charity is generally a really positive move, and it would have been something to appease the people online who are mad. But those people that you're now trying to appeal to are not going to support you, and the customers you already had are no longer going to support you now. So this is an absolutely pathetic situation that I will be keeping my eye on. But yes, this individual has now been virtually canceled by Bitmap Books because of somebody who had a personal vendetta against them, and because a few comments he made in the past really bothered a few snowflakes. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.